Yes, it was 2 weeks ago, and I was looked after by Jean all day long. Thank you very much, Jean. Yeah, it was a privilege to be there again. It's several years since I've attended the annual meetings of the mission. It was a good day. A long day, yes. I think I picked Jean up about 7 o'clock in the morning. We never got home till 10 o'clock at night, something like that, but a good day. We were delegates, so we had to attend the necessary business meeting as well, so we did miss some of the what they call breakout sessions, which they had with the missionaries who were there present. But yeah, the business meeting started off with, forgotten his name now, Darryl, someone who's mission coordinator, I think his title is, but talking about mission being a partnership. He used the illustration of the England cricket team beating Australia and regaining the Ashes. The fact that you need, when you're the batting team, you need 2 people out in the field at any one time. One of the partners could be seeming to do better than the other partners, but it's the 2 together who come up with the results. And the most important thing when you're batting is to have a big score as a partnership. Whether one scores 90 and the other 10, it's the combined effort of the 2. So mission is a partnership. Anyway, going into the breakout sessions, as I'll call them, I attended 2. One of them was on radio work. Unfortunately, because I got to that one a bit late, as I was still eating lunch, and some of it, I've got to be honest, went over the top of my head, because they were talking about, shall we say, technology, and there's a lot of radio work goes on in Africa and French-speaking Africa as well. But what they're trying to do, because apparently most people out there now have got mobile phones, and probably people laugh when I get that out, but they're better phones than that, and they're looking at getting programs on these little memory cards or whatever, which people can now put into their phone and get everything via their phone. So it's not always reliant on transmitters and transmitters breaking down. Yeah, and apparently these memory cards are quite cheap, and hopefully they're easy to get out to people, and they can, on a memory card, they can probably have almost a whole series of correspondence courses on them, which people can listen to. Another session I went to, there was a new couple, Paul and Solvig, if I've got that right, Guttridge. They were going out to Kazakhstan. Lots of countries I haven't even heard of, or they weren't countries when I went to school. There's lots of stans all over the place. Yeah, they're going out and be heading up something with, it's called the International Fellowship of Evangelical Students. They'll be working with students primarily and seeking to build them up that that they, when they finish their studies wherever, when they go back to their home, they can perhaps plant churches themselves or take part in church planting. A little bit about Kazakhstan, if I've got it, it's a vast country in area. I don't know how many Great Britons you could fit into it, but it's vast in size. Only 18 million people, and it's a very young country. Average age is just 30. Predominantly Muslim. Well, I say predominantly, it's 55%, they reckon, Muslim. 34% say they've got no religious affiliation whatsoever. And 0.7% say they're evangelical in any way. So it's a very small percentage. And they're trying to evangelise in that situation. The young couple actually had work done, and their university careers themselves. Solveig or both of them are fluent in Russian, and I think maybe other languages as well. So their university life helped them there, and they have spent, no, I can't pronounce this one, but it ends in Stan. They've been there as well, and also Uzbekistan. So they are travelled in that part of the world. They are hoping, I think, to go out very soon. I haven't got a date, but very soon. Then there was a main session for everybody on Europe, and that was entitled A Light in Every City, and it just highlighted what GBM were doing in Europe. If I can find the page, I'll just read out this. I think there's probably enough for everybody. Paul's got a great big box, so you can all have one of these tonight. Europe. Yeah, the nations of Europe are well educated, well fed, but dying without the knowledge of Christ. Yeah, Europe is one of the perhaps neediest continents in the world now. It's estimated, if I've got my figures somewhere, I'll put them somewhere. It's estimated that the population of Europe is about 750 million, with just 18 million who would be class themselves as evangelical Christian. So 18 out of 750. Very small percentage. We had presentations from a young lady, Hannah Pryor, who'd been doing a 2-year sort of apprenticeship attached to a church on the outskirts of Paris. James Hammond, who's connected to a church plant in Bordeaux. Once again, I think James is mainly working among students. It's, as I understand, a bilingual church there. They've got all sorts attending, students, professionals, and James is trying to concentrate on student work. We heard from Jean Ellis, who's in Austria. Jean has been out there for 30 years and has developed the work with deaf people. And she learnt it's German, deaf language, sign language, and they've actually established a deaf church. They weren't actually at the meetings, but there's a couple, Malcolm and Ruth Firth, who are based in Latvia. Apparently there's a vast mix of nationalities there, and apparently the services are translated into about 4 different languages as they're going along. What that sounds like, I wouldn't have a clue, this is from memory as well. I think when I've heard Malcolm before, I think even in Latvia he got connections. There was someone from Africa attending a church there, and he's picked up so he can do teaching over there as well. So, it is multinational. And Poland, can't pronounce their names as they are Polish nationals, these two, but I think it probably translates to Andrew and Monica. The surname I'm not going to even attempt. He trained he did a theological course in this country, and he's gone back to a town, I won't even try to pronounce the name of either, but it's in Poland, and he's seeking to plant a church there. And someone, I will pronounce his name, Peter Slomski, he's got Polish descent, although he's born in this country, and he's gone back to Poland to assist a church there. And also heard from a couple, Slavko and Alison. Now, I think Alison's probably English, Slavko isn't. Surname, I'm not going to try. He is a Serbian, and they're trying to plant a church in Serbia. One of the things I've highlighted here, common themes which emerged as they spoke about their activities in Europe was the impact of the Catholic and Orthodox churches, and there are people they find who would rather worship the saints than Christ himself. It's the saints who sort of look after you, and they give almost higher position to the saints than others. So, and we had a final service taken by Andy Patterson of FIEC, and he stressed there that World Mission is not a separate branch of the church, but it is the role of the church. We can't say, right, this is sort of home church, this is foreign church, mission church, whatever. And that reinforced what was said in the morning. It's a partnership. We can't do without each other. Mission is not just for the professionals, if you could ever class a missionary as a professional in that sense, but it's not just for them. we have a duty to be involved as well. I'm drying up. So that's a brief summary of the day. And this, Jean wants to tell me something I've missed. I hope I haven't picked up any of your pages.
Thanks, Rupert and Jean, for that. I think it's quite